Well, hello forensic accountants. This is our guidance for case 2.1, which deals with chapter 2 and its high-level overview tests. These are the high-level overview tests, and we are going to do them in Excel, and we have our instructions set out in case 2.1. So let's go there. Here we go. There. Number 1, prepare the data profile for the payments data. And the payments data, I'm talking about the City of Somerville data. And so I have my files open already. Here it is, City of Somerville. The amount field is the one that I want to analyze. Right-click, copy into the Negrini cycle. Go to Data. Column D is where I put my numbers. Paste. I'm going to copy these formulas down. I don't need them for the data profile, but everything else, all my graphs will be perfect. And there we go. Everything you wanted to know about the data profile, it's done. Large positive, small positive, zero, small negative, large negative. For each of these groups, I have a count, and for each of these groups, I have total dollars. We can see that the total dollars for 4 years, 677 million. To me, that sounds like 170 million per year. I have 55,746 records. I have two more strata here, pretty much small and pretty much big. You can change these and do it however you like. You can in fact change these strata boundaries by going right into the formula, and there it says greater than or equal to 500. There it says greater than or equal to 500. You can change the formulas if you want your large positive to be some other number and over. So data profile done. Requirement number 2. Does the number of records agree? Well, yes. According to my data profile, it was the number right over there, 55,746. And if I go up, I have 55,746. I use one row as a header row, so I will actually go to row 55,747. Create a histogram of the check payments. I give you the 21 intervals, and I give you the ranges of the intervals. And so we have to get a little bit busy here. There are a number of ways that we can do this. I'm going to use a VLOOKUP and a pivot table, which is different to what I did in case 1.1. So we are going to do strata, and I need to create a table here. And the way I'm going to create it is I'm going to go, we'll stay there, amount. And what we put in the amount is we put the lower bound. And I know that I have no numbers that are smaller than minus 20,000. So I will call this strata 0. The lower bound of the next strata is where I'm going to start my histogram. Numbers greater than 1 penny. And this will be strata number 1. This strata is going to go, the next one is going to start at 5,000. And that will be strata number 2. Excel knows how to read it, and it knows it'll start at the bottom and read up until one of them is true. I'm going to go equals that plus 5,000. And we can copy this down, I'm thinking to 22. Not quite. There we go. This is the lower bound for everything greater than 100,000 or equal to 100,000. We'll go here. 21 strata. What I'm going to do is a VLOOKUP equals VLOOKUP. Look up what? Look up the number in D2, which is the dollar amount of the check. Then go to this range find the number, and give me the number that you see in column 2, that one called N and strata. And I need an approximate match, which is why I type true there. And we'll see in a moment that it's got it right. I'm going to go here, copy it down to the bottom, plus sign, swift left, double click, and oops, I forgot to do this little adjustment here. My range. F4 makes a $M $2. F4 makes a $N $23, which means when I copy this formula down, it sticks to this range here and it doesn't adjust it. So much better. So strata 1 is 1 penny all the way up to just before 5,000. Let's go check whether this number is indeed in that range, and that number is indeed in strata 2's range. I'm going to go across. There it is. 4970. It is indeed in the range 1 penny to just under 5,000. This one was in strata 2, and strata 2 was 5,000 to just under 10,000. It indeed got the strata right. For my histogram, I need to count how many strata 16s, 1s, 2s, and 21s, and the like I have. I could use COUNTIF, but we will do a pivot table instead. Insert pivot table. Okay. What I need is my rows must be strata. And I'm going to take strata here as well, and I'm going to do not sum, but count. There we go. And indeed, I have the counts. This is strata 0 equal A4. This is the count equals B4. Copy it down, and we're going to do a little check. Strata 0 was everything under 1 penny. Everything under 1 penny is the zeros and the negatives. And indeed, if I count this, I get to exactly 58, which is what it told me it has in strata number 0. I'm not going to graph that. That doesn't get part of the... Now, for the instructions tell me to use the upper bound, and the upper bound is, and the upper bound rounded to dollars. The upper bound here is 4999. The upper bound here is that plus 5,000. And I can copy this formula down to there, and this one is 100,000 plus. I'm going to give this a nice format here. Format this as number. Number 1000 separator. There we go. Now, I need to graph this. So my histogram will be these values here. And indeed, I could check that things are right. I can go, oh, I don't need to. The grand total is there. 55,746. Everything is in a strata, and everything should be in the correct stratum. So here we go. I'm going to graph this. Insert bar. I'm going to take this, move chart to a new sheet called Histogram. We're on a roll. There we go. I need to tidy this up a little bit, but for now the most impressing thing is to go and change this to the actual upper bounds, just as is shown in the book. Select data, horizontal axis labels, edit. I'm going to look for them, and they are here. And we'll do Okay. Okay. Nice. I'm good to go, except I need a few more things. I need a real chart title. Histogram would work well, but importantly, I wanted to go 16 and bold. I need to, this is a count, so I can format this as a number. And I can give it that 1000 separator, but with no decimal places. It's a count, so we should be good there. We're on a roll here. I prefer it to be 12 in bold, so we can see it, and I prefer this to be 12 in bold, but I really didn't want those 2 decimal places there. Get rid of them. Backspace 0. Enter. And I'm still keeping them highlighted. We'll go bold and we will go to 12. I also want upper bound and interval count to be my axis titles, and the way we can do that is design, add a chart element, axis titles, put the 2 in, make them nice and bold and 12 font, and you have a histogram that's world class. Like this, just bigger. You can even have a closer look at this and you should be good. Is the check payments data positively or negatively skewed? Basically, when a graph looks like this, it is positively skewed, many more small numbers than high numbers, or we can hardly see the bars over there. However, what we can do is we can actually calculate the skewness. I can go here, checkbook, close. And I remember my data is from D2 to D55, 747. I can actually go and calculate the skewness, equal SKEW skew D2 to D55, 747. Skewness calculated to be 47.95. It's very big when it comes to skewnesses, and it's very positive. So, end of chapter. Is it positively skewed? Does it show the same general pattern? That is definitely a yes. And skewness comes up a few times in the book. If you want to read more about skewness, from page 250 to page 254, the number skewness pops up a few times, and everything you wanted to know about skewness, but maybe were afraid to ask. So, positively skewed, and it does show the same pattern. Periodic graph, a total for all the Januaries, all the Februaries, right through to December. I need to go in here and do a little trick, because for that I need to know which month of the year it is. And we can go here, month. That was thunder outside. And I want to know what the month is, so we will do equals, and the function is month. Equal month of the date. I think Excel can do this in the pivot table for us. But I'm just going to do it here. There we go. All the ones mean it's January. If I scroll down, that must be June. I have all the months, and they go 1 through 12. I now need to get the total dollars for each month. And we'll do that with our good old friend, insert pivot table. Do I do go to L? I do go to L, I'm good. Insert pivot table, and I needed in L because L was the month. Okay. My row is going to be month. And I wanted to give me the amount, and I wanted to give me the sum of the amount. And here I have it. Here I have my totals from January to December. I'm actually going to pull this out of the pivot table and go equals B4. Looks a little untidy here. What we will do is we will right click, format the cells, and format it as currency. Now I have my, you can see a biggie over there. And instead of going 1 to 12, I'm going to do Jan, Feb, Mar, and I think Excel will know. There we go. Once again, insert, and usually time-related data is shown with a line, but I really do prefer bars. Bar. Move chart. Periodic graph. Here we go. This should be formatted, and it'll follow the format that it sees in the data. So I need to actually change this because I don't really need the pennies there. Number, currency is good, but 0 decimals. Okay. I need a chart title there. 16 size. At least I need all this to be bold, and I want it to be at least 12 points. And I think most importantly, I want, down with the size a little bit there, I want this to read January to December, not 1 to 12. Select data, access labels, edit. And let me go and find them, and they should be lurking over here. And we will do OK, and we should have no problem here with OK. Again, I need a title, month, total dollars over here, chart title, periodic graph, or the like. And what did I want to do? You know, these are too skinny. You can never be too skinny, but actually, when it comes to these bar graphs, you can be. Format the data series. Gap width. Let's pull the gap width down, and maybe we can stop it at 120. No. 100%. And now I have bars that I can actually see. On the histogram, perhaps also time to go gap width. We can go down to 100. The first one is where all the action is. So not much is going to be seen there. And basically Tableau would do this histogram, and it would do the periodic graph extremely quickly. I'm good to go over here. And just by the way, it might chump off a few things here. If Excel misbehaves when it comes to these and it chops it off slightly, just go to axis position and change it to on tick marks. I'm a little nervous to click now. I might undo my good work over here, but try between on tick marks or between tick marks. And at worst, you're going to have to go to labels and specify an interval unit of something like 2. And that should open up some space. I don't really like it with 2, but it might have to do. So periodic graph looking good, except for needs some work over there. Mark word, end of chapter. Here we go. The June total is significantly higher than what do I think might be occurring. I think it's a case of the fiscal year ends at the end of June, and it's a case of use it or lose it. And this is why they're spending, and they don't want items returned to what is simply called surplus. In the chapter, I have this example about the Air Force Base in Virginia and purchasing $100,000 worth of helmets just before the end of the fiscal year. It makes for some exciting reading. Descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics summarize my data, and the good thing is I can go back to Somerville and I can get almost everything that I need by going to my data. Remember where my data is, it's over there. And I can go data analysis. You might not be able to get data analysis to work immediately, and you have to work with getting it through, adding it in through the add-ins. You're going to have to look up how to get my analysis tools to work, and that should work. Descriptive statistics, okay, my range is D2 to D, 55,747. I don't have labels in the first row because I've started on D2. Do that. I want summary statistics, and I can take this. Here we go there. 3 check marks there, grouped by columns, D2 to D, 55,747. Okay. And here we have it. Well, we almost have it. I'm going to format these ones. Format cells, number to, we can use the 1000 separator. And I have almost everything I need from here to here, almost everything. There are no missing records. I just don't have quartile 1 and quartile 3. So I hope you remember what these things mean. The median is the sort of midpoint number. If I sorted my data from smallest to largest, which number would be right in the middle? That's the average. The mode is the most frequently occurring number. Quartile 1 gives me that dollar value at which 25% of the numbers are smaller and 75% are bigger. Over here, 25% are bigger, 75% are smaller. I need to go and do some quartile work over here. I'm back to checkbook, and what I really care about is that in column D, and here we go. I'm going to go quartile equal QU quartile, and in the book I talk about just using this one, but I'll go quartile inc. Okay. QUARTILE dot, and inc stands for inclusive. Quartile inc. The array is D2 to D, 55,747. And the quartile that I want, we can start off with the first quartile is, you can see it says over there, for the first quartile do 1. There's my number. 25% of the numbers are smaller, 75% are bigger. Again, equal QUARTILE inc. The array is D2 to D, 55,747. I couldn't really copy the top down because it would have moved that. And now I want number 3. And there is my 2,220 and 56 cents. Third quartile, 25% of the numbers are bigger, 75% are smaller. Let's just do one more for fun. Quartile dot inc. The array is D2 to D55, 747. And now I'm going to go 2, which means not 1, not 3, 2 in the middle, 50% bigger and 50% smaller, also known as the median. 504.30, median, 504.30, it agrees. Remember we calculated the skewness? There it is, and that is what we calculated it to be. So, what do we have? We have enough there between the quartile and the descriptive statistics to fill out all of these values. And as regards case 2.1, we're done. And so from me to you, bye-bye.